Welcome to Jamaica Dancehall Source and Entertainment with a Buzz. The first thing that is popping in the news, I was going through social media, specifically YouTube, about a day or so ago, and I came upon a very interesting interview that was done by the Fix, Nightly Fix, Nara, and them. And they were interviewing assistants, once ex Assistant Commissioner of Popo, Mr. Mark Shields. That interview was maybe about an hour or so long. Don't quote me. However, at about minutes 15 and 20 something seconds to about minute 19 and something seconds, he was asked specifically about a very controversial character, a YouTuber, and you know exactly who I am speaking about. When he was asked about that very controversial person, he said that person is pretty much rubbish. Some of the stuff that he says might be factual. However, most of it is rubbish, crap, SHIT. It is over sensationalized. It is exaggerated. So, people, I want you to take a look to exactly what Mr. Shields has to say, his words, and then I'll give my piece.
So I could not have you here and not ask about Sir P. This is really for TikTok now. You've listened to some of his videos, I assume. Sir P. Politics Watch. The YouTube channel. Oh, you don't know about Sir P. You've never heard of it. No. Wow. Is that bad? In a way. Because you'd like to think that somebody with your history would be at least be aware of him.
No, me have to pull it up.
Please, yeah, no more Sir P. Politics Watch.
What is it? Tell me what it is.
It's a popular YouTube channel where somebody with an obviously disguised voice is speaking on crime in
Oh, I know
Jamaica.
this is rubbish.
Wow.
Wow. It's rubbish. I've heard him. Yeah. I've seen
What
it.
about it is rubbish?
Well, a lot of it is rubbish,
Okay.
and you know, I think I've been on it as well in a not in a very positive manner. But this face it, there are people out there who are going to exploit the public. And it's unfortunate that people believe everything they see or hear on YouTube. And I say to everybody out there, do not believe everything on social media. Most of it is complete bollocks. Check your sources. Go to CNN, the BBC, the Times, the New York Times, or whatever, and check what you're hearing, because most of the stuff is complete bollocks. That's simple as that.
Yeah, there was a video
That's a
here.
very British
Mark
word.
Shields believe Renita Adams was trying to get him dash way.
Yeah, you know, this goes on, and you can sit there and scroll and scroll and scroll, and you have to be careful because some of it is AI generated as well. But I've listened to that guy, and he's talking about conspiracies and that there is this happening, and I'm waiting for the evidence, but it's not. It's just blah 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 blah. Sensationalize this, sensationalize that. It's rubbish as far as I'm concerned.
And I'm glad that you brought it. Well, mention it.
So I do know it now.
Yeah.
You triggered my memory.
Yeah.
I do know, but it means so little to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's sad that people out there actually listen to that and believe it.
So, people, like I said, this was minute 15 to about minute 19. Want you to watch the whole thing, but just to give you specific timelines and exactly what he said when he spoke specifically about this person. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to being an expert on crime, Mr. Mark Shields would fit the criteria based on the fact that he was once assistant commissioner of Popo for a couple of years. Persons would say that he did a very good job. Persons are going to say that he was affiliated with Scotland Yard. You know that over UK they have some of the best detectives, best legal and also justice minds over there. So therefore he would be an expert. When it comes to the person that he speaks about, nobody knows anything about him. He is like a mythical character. However, he acts as if he is some sort of security and justice experts. Have not seen his credentials, but he talks as if he knows, so people are going to assume that he knows. This is social media. If you can convince people that you know, then they will believe that you know. He was asked, being Mark Shield, what does he think about this person and the stuff that he talks about. And first, he acted as if he did not know who he was. However, when the host, Nara, or the lady made some sort of reference, then he realized. Was he downplaying that he know the person? Don't know his state of mind? Cannot tell. It could be, and then again, it might not be. Maybe he was legitimately saying that he did not know or did not remember. And these are the facts. Whenever somebody is insignificant to you, you are not going to remember this. As a matter of fact, here are the facts. Most of the people that I know that are business people do not even go on social media, especially YouTube and even worse, TikTok. You heard him dissing TikTok in most of the interviews, saying that that is trash. So therefore, we know him to be some sorts of security expert, justice expert. So whatever he says is going to be the justice, what is going to be the gospel. Not to say that he knows everything, but here's the thing. This person that is saying that he is some sort of justice or security expert on YouTube, obviously, Mark Shields know nothing about him. Obviously, he's a mysterious character. Obviously, if he was somebody that was involved in any sort of law enforcement for any specific time, Mr. Mark Shields would have known something about it. Is Mr. Mark Shields covering up for him? I doubt it very much. Now, being somebody that understands the psyche and how persons think on social media, I know a lot of persons are going to say Mr. Mark Shields has zero credibility because when he was asked if he knew that person, that blogger, he kind of downplayed it. And like I said, if you don't, if something is not very important to you, you are not going to remember it. And like I said, a lot of persons, believe it or not, that have things going on for them in their lives, they are not link or even watch anything on social media because most person thinks that social media is trash anyway. It is mostly persons that are very idle that really watch social media. And I am not saying that person that watch social media don't have constructive stuff in them life, but me just say a lot of people don't watch social media. So when I talk about the psyche of people, this is what I expect. I expect the fans of Vibes Cartel to come out and say, see, I told you, everything that he said about their artist is trash. And I expect the person that don't like the blogger to come out and say, see, I told you long before. This is over sensationalization. This is exaggeration. This is made up story. That person have a very creative imagination. And because he knows that persons on social media are gullible and vulnerable, sheep-like tendency, they are going to say, see, I told you so. Most importantly, what I can expect is the fans of that blogger to come out and say that Mr. Mark Shields don't know what he is talking about. Mr. Mark Shields is a part of the system. He is Billy Joe or Billy whatever they want to claim. So his fans, meaning the blogger's fans, are going to come out and they are going to try to downgrade, defame the character, defame the professionalism of somebody that is known to be some sort of expert on crime and security. And they are going to say their mysterious leader is the expert and their mysterious leader is solving all sorts of crime, getting Jamaica better. People, what is so mind boggling to me is the same people that claim that some people are sheep are some of the biggest sheep that we've ever seen in the history of social media because they believe everything that they hear. They no longer want to assess and analyze anything. Them take everything not with a grain of salt as if it is the gospel. And even worse, my expectation, being somebody that is a psychopath, I expect him to also defame that person's character. make that person seems as if he does not know what he is talking about, and he is the one that knows what he is talking about. People, we are going to see the defamation of character that is going to take place, because that is what persons that are psychopaths do. Whenever they realize that the truth or they are being exposed, they are going to come up with all sorts of story, all sorts of documents, all sorts of this, all sorts of that. But people, I am here to remind you, it is all a part of the game. It does not matter if 100 expert comes out and say, yes, it is trash, it is no good, rate, lele, blue, blah, bling. It is not going to make any sorts of difference in the minds of persons that are sheep, that are part of a such agenda. Now, people, remember, Mr. Mark Shields gave a general opinion of what he thought about that person, what he thought about the topics that he speaks about, and how entrenched is he as it pertains to law enforcement and stuff that is going on in Jamaica, solving any sorts of crime. The people that are interviewed him spoke about C4 and what is going on in a Spanish town. He did not defend that. He did not say yea or nay. He just spoke in general. From what he heard, being an expert on law enforcement, justice, crime, whatever you want to say. When he was asked specifically about a topic in which that individual spoke about, he said in no uncertain terms, that is trash. There is no source of conflict between Adams and myself. That is BS story. Now, people, here's the thing. If Mr. Mark Shields went to court and he was asked by the judge to say to the jury, do you and Mr. Adams have any sorts of problem? And Mr. Mark Shields said, no, in no uncertain terms, we have zero problem. The jury would more believe him than of the person in question to come and say, yeah, me do a blog about it. Here are the details. This is what was done. This is what was said by this person. Because then the person that is directly involved is giving his opinion on himself and a conflict that is said to be between himself and Adams. But people, we've seen it all before. Whenever anybody comes out and say, listen, me and this one as in the part of popcorn and people, maybe that is not a good reference versus Vibes Cartel, because we kind of know say popcorn is kind of scared of Vibes Cartel for whatever reason. So therefore, that is not a good reference. I am just saying, in general, when somebody speaks and goes on the witness stand and speaks about themselves, the second or third party, whatever they say, makes no sorts of sense. One of the things that I've realized with social media and a lot of popular social media personnels, and this might also apply to the subject in question, a lot of persons come on social media and they have good intentions. Yes, they want Jamaica to be a better place. However, when they realize that they put up certain specific stories and those stories are getting the better views, meaning the over sensationalized, meaning the exaggerated, meaning the make up stories, like the saying goes, nobody wants the truth when the lie is more entertaining. Then that good intention might change when they see those dollar signs. Those dollar signs then start to influence these people, especially when they see that their subscriber, their viewers gravitate to specific stuff. So therefore, if you catch a fool, you are going to use him. Whatever sells, that is what they are going to put out. It is called the law of supply and demand. Give the people what they want more and more. The more them get it is the more that they want it. So people like me say, this is going to be very controversial based on the interview, based on what Mark Shields says. Mark Shields is an expert, that mystery man. Nobody knows exactly who he is. But if Mr. Mark Shields is a part of the justice system in Jamaica, he would have some sorts of idea, some sorts of indication if this person is an expert, if this person speaks like an expert, or this person speaks like he have absolutely no sorts of sense, it is garbage. It is over sensationalized, exaggerated, made up ish most of the time, point blank and period. So, anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Crime Time News. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.